y de Camalú, Ensenada, Baja California, Mario el Güero Ramírez.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, to open up the telecast here today, Mario El Güero Ramírez, who you see coming into the ring right now, 13-1 with 4 KOs, versus Adalberto García, 6-11. And the way he describes himself, ladies and gentlemen, is a boxer puncher. You know, he mirrors his style. His idol watches Eric Morales and says he wants to be him. So here you guys see the tail of the tape. As Dylan, can you walk us through the tail of the tape?
So from the tail of the tape, we see Mario Ramírez has the height advantage and the reach advantage. And Mario Ramírez is coming off from a long layoff. But I expect him to go in there and put on the pressure intelligently. He's going to keep this at a distance and not let Garcia get close to do his brawl type of fighting that he likes to do. Mario's going to be intelligent, and I expect him to control the fight.
Yeah, we've seen Mario Güero Ramírez here on Best in Boxing plenty of times. Adalberto Garcia claims he's a brawler. He expects that style more than anything.
Damas y caballeros, Bolisteca Boxing Promotions y Grito de Guerra Promotions presentan este encuentro pactado a 6 rounds en la división de peso superpluma. Let's get ready for 6 rounds of boxing in the super featherweight division. Your 3 judges scoring this bout in ringside. Sus 3 jueces: Sergio Lechuga, Jesse Hernández y Max Zúñiga La Bandera. And your referee in charge of the action, su referee para este combate de Puerto Rico, Ángel Méndez. Introducing the fighter standing in the blue corner. He wears black and gold. He officially weighs in 126.5 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, con pantaloncillo color negro con oro, con un peso de 126.5 libras. In 22 professional bouts, he stands with a record of 6 victories, 11 losses, 5 draws, and 2 of those victories coming by the fast way of knockout. Presenta un récord de 6 victorias, 11 derrotas, 5 empates y 2 de esas victorias por la vía del knockout. Representando Cueva Boxing Promotions, Tepic Nayarit, Adalberto, el Choice García. And his opponent across the ring standing in the red corner. He wears black with the Mexican flag on the side. He weighs in 130 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina roja, vistiendo pantaloncillo color negro con la bandera mexicana en los lados, verde, blanco y rojo, con un peso de 130 libras. In 15 professional bouts, he stands with a record of 13 victories, 1 lone defeat, 1 draw, and 4 of those victories coming by the fast way of knockout. Presenta un récord de 13 victorias, 1 derrota, 1 empate y 4 de esas victorias por la vía del knockout. Originario de Camalú, Baja California, y representando los colores de Iron Fist, Colonia Libertad de Tijuana, Mario Güero Ramírez. And to give out the final instructions, your referee in charge, con las indicaciones finales, su referee, Ángel Méndez. 6 rounds, 6 asaltos.
As we open our pay-per-view portion of the telecast, Mario Ramírez, Adalberto García. As Güero Ramírez starts off with his patented movement, distance boxing, and described by Adalberto Garcia that he comes forward and he's a tough Mexican fighter, in his words.
I like the distance that Mario is keeping right now.
And that's typically Mario Güero Ramírez's style. He likes to box from the outside, keep his distance.
So here's a fun fact for you guys. Over at Mario Güero Ramírez's corner, it's his trainer, Sergio El Cero Sanchez. I know him very well because he's the former world champion, Jorge El Travieso Arce's head trainer. So nothing new for Sergio El Cero Sanchez on El Güero's corner. He's a trainer that worked on my corner as well on my amateur days, and he's a trainer that favors the exchange. He is always urging you to go forward, to throw a lot of punches. So it's a good trainer to have in your corner for El Güero Ramírez.
And that's why we see such an exciting style as he lands a good little body shot there to Ramírez. And we're accustomed to seeing him here in Best in Boxing, where he is lengthy and he keeps a distance, but he throws plenty of shots, like Gerardo just mentioned.
Yeah, definitely not a boring fighter, Ramírez. And you see Garcia putting on the pressure, but Ramírez doing a very good job of stepping out, using the whole ring to avoid the punches. And he's keeping that jab in Garcia's face.
And Garcia continues to throw to the body there. I think he's landed already 2 or 3 shots. And this is a 6-round bout. See if it wears on Ramírez, as he usually throws a lot of punches. See if he's able to keep that pace.
You know, Ramírez coming off a long layoff. His last fight was December of last year. So the pace is going to pick up. I'm sure of it.
Maybe get a little bit of that rust off is probably what he's trying to do here in that first round.
Yeah, and we've had a couple of fights where guys are, coming off long layoffs, and we wondered if ring rust was going to be in effect, if it was real. And I think I can say that we've seen that it does take a little bit, maybe a round or two to get back into the groove.
And a good hook there landed by Ramírez in that exchange, and a hard overhand right landed by Garcia. And his style did not disappoint. Typically, you wait for that first round, you feel him out, but that did not happen for Adalberto Garcia. He came in looking for Güero Ramírez, looking for his body, looking for his chin right away.
I might be wrong here, guys. Excuse me. I might be wrong here, guys, but I don't see any ring rust for El Güero. High activity on the very first round.
Yeah, good amount of activity from both fighters. Definitely a hard round to judge between the two, but we'll get to that with our unofficial scorer Gerardo in a few moments. As we see there, the corner of El Güero Ramírez.
Yeah, now El Güero Ramírez is doing a good job of using the ring, but I think if he's gonna keep Garcia off of him, he's gonna have to sit down on the punches, and have Garcia respect his punching power. Because right now, Garcia's just walking forward.
He keeps coming forward on him. You're correct.
And if he's gonna throw that jab, it needs to be a stiff jab, and he needs to put that in his face. Make him think twice before coming in like that. So far, good job for Garcia.
And fight fans, you might be able to hear Adalberto Garcia yelling each time that he throws a punch. So I have a question for you guys. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for a boxer? Because I remember Victor Vicious Ortiz, he used to yell each time he threw a punch. And that is until he had his jaw broken by Josecito Lopez. So yelling versus the shush after each punch, a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a grunt. He's grunting. It just depends on each fighter, Some guys like to grunt when they're hitting the bag. Some guys, make different noises. It's all up to the fighter what he prefers, right? He feels comfortable with that grunt. Seems to be working for him, evening out the round here.
Yeah, there's multiple videos making fun of this. Every fighter has their noise.
Yeah.
Chris's sound is more feminine, but that's him. You let him do what makes him comfortable.
You're correct, man. I'll go ahead and take that like just how I'd describe yours, more of a moan than a grunt, Dylan.
Oh,
but,
I enjoy hitting for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can leave you guys alone if you want.
We've settled this in the gym plenty of times.
Yeah,
Don't get it twisted, people.
TMI.
We're good friends.
So far, Garcia continuing with that pressure.
And
Ooh,
a good
left
counter
hook.
by Ramírez. As you see Garcia putting on the pressure here, as Dylan mentioned, this is a 6-round fight. So the conditioning aspect is gonna vary maybe for Mario Güero Ramírez coming off almost a year layoff.
Yeah, and you know what? I was going to mention the fact that this is a 6-rounder because, Garcia right now is throwing a lot of hard punches, and we're still in the 2nd round. You have 4 more rounds to go.
And a good body shot landed by Güero Ramírez.
Yeah, and with those body shots by Güero, sooner or later they're going to take effect.
So in Güero's previous fight, he came in a very hard fight, throwing lots of shots, eventually broke his opponent down to the body. If I'm not mistaken, it was the 7th round where he finished his opponent.
Very nice exchange at the end of the round.
Very nice exchange. In the first round, I saw Garcia putting on the pressure as the highlight of it, but right now I'm seeing Ramírez staying calm, and like I mentioned, it's a 6-rounder, and he's investing in the body shots. Those are going to add up, and we've already seen 2 or 3 fights in the prelims where the body shots
Pay
take
dividends.
effect.
Yeah,
Definitely.
In the fight with Mark DeLuca and Ramon Barajas, it seemed like DeLuca threw good shots to the body and was able to put him down there. As we see the replay here, the aggressor, but Mario Güero Ramírez doing well to counter off the ropes there. As we had a little bit of technical difficulty. Garcia, the aggressor. Ramírez, the boxer puncher. As we start the 3rd round and we go to our unofficial scorer, Gerardo, how do you have it after 2 rounds?
1 round apiece. It's a tough round to score this fight because you see a lot of action between those two, but I'm giving the edge on Garcia on the last round because he demonstrated a little bit more of aggression, threw more punches, and in my opinion, connected a bit more than El Güero.
Yeah,
1 round apiece.
I'll tell you guys one thing. Right off the bat, you see Garcia coming out not as strong as the previous 2. Like I mentioned, he's been throwing the multiple power punches, throwing combinations. Those, they affect your fuel tank. And right now, Ramírez is starting to put his game plan into effect.
Yeah, definitely affect your fuel tank. So I always like to use that analogy of the boxing video games. If you guys ever played Fight Night, you guys ever played Punch Out back in the day, you're hitting your opponent, and that power meter starts to go down little by little. So maybe that's something we're starting to see, that power meter going down from Garcia.
And now Garcia keeps walking forward, but right now we see his guard a bit lower and not throwing as much punches as before. He's trying to load up on them, but Ramírez is being real smart.
He's definitely picking off his shots, landing a good body shot right as you were talking, Dylan. I didn't want to interrupt you, but doing a good job of setting up his shots is Ramírez.
El Güero Ramírez
Good
finding a
left hook
good,
by Ramírez.
that's right, finding a good counter punch on that left hook of his.
And we saw Garcia start off stronger than Ramírez, coming off right off the bat with multiple punches, putting on pressure. Sometimes it is better to take it slow the first round so you can get the distance of your fighter, so you can analyze him, so you can see the little quirks that he has.
And a good 1-2 landed by Ramírez. It seemed to have hurt his opponent, Garcia.
He's still throwing though. He's there. He's right there.
And a hard uppercut landed by Garcia on Güero Ramírez. Backpedaling after that shot was landed. So as we see Mario Güero Ramírez, not your typical Mexican fighter. He likes to fight off his back foot, likes to box more than brawl. as opposed to Garcia, who mentioned to us that he likes to brawl. He wants to get in there and he wants to duke it out.
Yeah, you know what? That's right, because Ramírez is using the ring, you know, and he's taking step backs. He's setting up little feints. He's being real smart. A lot of the typical Mexican fighters have that. Come forward with everything, you know, try to
style,
bombard
yes.
you with the punches. Ramírez so far executing his game plan.
Yeah, that's what we've come to see from Mario El Güero Ramírez. He likes to move. He likes to use the ring. As we get a shot there of our ring card girl, letting us know that it's round number 4. We thank her for that.
Thank you.
We see Güero Ramírez here.
Yeah, and you know what? Ramírez started off a little bit slow, but we definitely saw him pick up the pace. And I think now that he knows how Garcia is, how he's going to react, he's putting his game plan in. He's listening to his coaches. I can see what they're telling him in the corner, and he's implementing that game plan.
Yeah, definitely doing a much better aspect of his fight in that last round is Güero Ramírez. We'll see if Garcia can take control back, as Gerardo gave him the second round. We enter the 4th round here in a 6-round bout.
Ramírez is throwing multiple jabs. Sometimes he likes to double the jab, and that's good because he's using that left hook too. You know, so. Ooh.
And a good right hand by Güero Ramírez. Didn't seem to face Garcia. Still coming forward. Still throwing shots. Ooh. And a good shot landed by Garcia.
Good chin on both guys.
Both fighters landed good shots on each other.
Bienvenidos a Mexico. That's all I can say.
Garcia right now is walking forward, and once he gets into the distance where he can throw a power punch, he throws it. And I think that's the wrong plan to have against Ramírez. He's moving around, and you see that waist movement that Ramírez has as well.
And landing little shots there is Ramírez, but not putting too much mustard on him, as people like to say.
Neither of these guys have a huge percentage of knockouts.
We're going to be able to enjoy the boxing aspect of this game here.
Yeah, and you see Ramírez right now duck under a left hook of Garcia gracefully.
And come back with the hook. And it seems that Ramírez is frustrating Garcia a little bit by the way he moves, by the way he evades these shots.
Yeah, but you know what? Garcia needs to, I know he's getting frustrated, but he's following Ramírez, and it's been a couple of guys that like to follow the fighter instead of closing off the ring, putting him in a corner, putting him in a bad spot where they can put their game plan, you know, getting into the close space and throwing those combinations. Because right now he's letting Ramírez use the whole ring.
Yeah, he's letting him dictate the pace.
And good waist movement by Ramírez has been throughout the whole fight.
And Garcia goes ahead and goes forward and grunts. That 1-2 with no avail. Just great, fantastic movement from Güero Ramírez of Camalú, Baja California, not too far here from Tijuana.
Good round here for both guys. The waist movement that Ramírez is showing right now, it's great. It's impressive. You know, he's able to stay calm, dodge, and pivot out.
Most definitely, throwing the jab, setting up combinations, and what I'm really liking from El Güero Ramírez is his left hook. He sometimes throws it sort of like a check hook. Whenever Garcia is leaning forward, he finds him with a short left hook, as we see the replay coming up right now.
As we see the movement of Güero Ramírez evading pretty much every shot that Garcia is throwing at him. Just wonderful head movement, using the ring to his advantage, something that is taught but not always easy to do. Güero Ramírez is showing us how to do it here.
As we come back to the fight, more of the same. Cuevas walking forward, trying to throw those hard punches. And Ramírez keeping that jab in Garcia's face. The composure that Ramírez is showing is great. You know, he had a long layoff with this guy.
Nice jab.
Has 15 fights under his belt. So he's a composed, complete fighter.
He started boxing at 17 without any heavy training. He started not that very young. Would you say that, Chris?
Typically, you have a little bit more of an extensive amateur background. Güero Ramírez did not. He started off his career losing to his opponent, Armando Tovar, at 140 pounds. Tonight, he enters
130
pounds. 10 pounds lighter, 2 weight classes down. You know, definitely not the best way to start, you know, with not that much experience, but he since that first and only loss of Güero Ramírez, he's undefeated. That just shows the tenacity and the love for boxing that this person has, because you struggled with adversity, losing your very first professional fight. Typically, most people would be like, I'm done with boxing. This kid picked it up, dusted off, and put on 13 straight wins.
You know, and we talked about how most boxers start off with four rounds. And it's because it's a different feeling from the amateurs. I think Ramírez might have felt the differences, and he said, you know what, I have to take this serious. And you got into the gym, you've seen how he's developed into this fighter that we're seeing here, with proper waist movement, good jabs, dictating the fight. It's good. It's great seeing a boxer progress and grow.
As we've seen here, Mario Güero Ramírez do on Best in Boxing. You can go back and catch his fights. I think he's had the most fights. He's had 13 fights on Best in Boxing. You guys can watch him. Just look up his name on YouTube or Best in Boxing. They were all on Fight Hub.
You can see why. The kid has skills. Nice jab work. The jab is doing the work for him tonight.
Yeah, he definitely has good skills. Where do you see him? Where do you see him at, Dylan? Being a fighter yourself, for somebody at 130 pounds, you know, against those high contenders.
You know what? I just want to touch on the point, the fact that he started off at 140 and went down to 130. I think that was the right move. A lot of fighters like to start off looking muscular. You know, they want to look good for the cameras, but this is a strategic sport. So you have to shave off those pounds, and you have to have a full fuel tank, and that's what his trainer has done. That's what Ramírez's team has accomplished here. We see somebody...
You're absolutely right, Dylan. As we take it to the replay here, little quick exchange from both fighters. Not much of an exchange that you guys got to see. Got cut off there, but Garcia landed that punch. Mario Güero Ramírez did come back. We were unable to see that. See how we close this final round between both fighters. Mario Güero Ramírez versus Adalberto Garcia.
And you know what? As far as competing with the rest of the 130 pounders, Ramirez has it. You know, I see him competing up there. He's barely coming back from that long layoff, and he's being smart. He's been hitting him in the body as well. We just saw another one a couple moments ago.
You can say that Güero Ramírez is serious about his career in boxing because he already moved from Kamalu to Tijuana, and you already know, fight fans, that Tijuana is a fight town. That tells you about the Güero Ramírez commitment to
his
this
dedication
sport.
to the sport. He lands a hard hook, but Garcia keeps coming, putting on the pressure. That he went ahead and stated to us that he likes to come forward, he likes to brawl, and he's showing us that is Garcia here today.
Yeah, this looks like he came in to brawl while Ramirez came in to box. And you know, he's been hitting him with a couple of good check hooks, man. Like, you can hear them all the way over here. Garcia keeps walking forward, though.
Yeah, we're at a good distance from the boxing ring, Dylan. You're right.
Ooh, nice right hand.
And we hear it. We hear the thuds.
Garcia has gold on his belt. He has a gold chin as well. He's taken a couple of those punches, man. Okay, you got to bring back the golden chin.
As we get a little scared here in the background, a little background noise. Somebody dropped something pretty heavy back there. That's Garcia trying. But Ramirez just the better fighter, evading those shots. Landing his own hook there. Closing the distance.
Garcia's corner yelling at him, do it for your daughter, do it for your daughter, do it for your family.
And they're asking just for no technique, just throw. He said throw, however you can, throw. That's what they're asking for. See if Garcia's able to pull that out of his head, just throw and throw.
But Güero, being the counter-puncher that he is, isn't that for his own benefit?
I mean, it could be, but I think when you respect a counterpuncher and you stay at their distance, they can pick you off real easy. But if you go in there and you make it a brawl, like Maidana versus Mayweather, you give them trouble.
And good close to the round, the last round of our very first bout of the afternoon. Mario El Güero Ramírez versus Adalberto Garcia of Tepic, Nayarit, Mexico. So we're going to go to the unofficial score of this bout. Gerardo, how do you have this fight?
58-56 for Mario El Güero Ramírez. I gave Garcia 2 rounds for his aggression, the volume of punches that he threw, but Güero Ramírez outclassed him, constantly throwing the check hook and connecting all day long, a lot of jabs. He even at one point threw like 10 jabs in a row. So El Güero Ramírez's day today, 58-56.
We'll see if the judges agree with Gerardo. See how they see this fight. Is he gonna interview?
Yeah, it's a good fight coming back from that layoff, Chris. He looked crisp. You know, that jab was as good as ever, and he fought smart. I think he dominated most of the fight.
Yeah, I mean, Garcia didn't make it close. We got to give him that. He made it close. It seemed to be convincing as we see the counter punching of Mario El Güero Ramírez and the aggressiveness of Garcia. We see Ramirez, the way he counters. As we see it here.
Sí, 2, 3, sí. Audio, dame un poquito más, por favor. Subirle volumen, más volumen, audio. Más volumen, audio. Más. Gracias.
Mario Ramirez just doing a fantastic job there of getting away from the shots and landing telling blows as we take it up to Pablo Flores for our decision.
Damas y caballeros, este combate se va a la distancia de 6 rounds. Por lo tanto, nos vamos con la decisión de los jueces. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has gone the distance of 6 rounds, and we now go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges, los 3 jueces, Sergio Lechuga, Jesse Hernández y Max Zúñiga Lavandera, have the same scores of 59 to 55. Coinciden en sus números 59 a 55. For your winner by the way of unanimous decision, su vencedor por la vía de la decisión unánime, Camalú y Iron Fist de la Colonia Libertad de Tijuana, Mario Güero Ramírez.
And Gerardo was off by 1 round.
También,
All 3 judges
el
had it.
reconocimiento para su
59
rival de Tepic
to
Nayarit,
55
para Adalberto,
for
el
your
Choice
winner,
García.
Mario El Güero Ramírez.
Mario, puedes dar una entrevista. All right, I'm here with the winner. Estoy aquí con el ganador, Mario El Güero Ramírez. Mario, el jab estuvo trabajando contigo. Todo el día estuviste trabajando muchísimo el jab. ¿Cómo te sientes después de haber peleado desde diciembre? Tenías desde pelearse en diciembre. ¿Cómo te sentiste después de esta pelea? You're coming off of the since you last fight was in December last year. So how do you feel right now? Did you feel a little ring rust over there? ¿Te sentiste un poquito como oxidado con respecto a esta falta de actividad?
Pues primero que nada, pues quiero darle gracias a Dios, ¿verdad? Por la victoria, al público.
I want to thank God and I want to thank the audience.
Sí, me sentí un poco raro porque pues tengo casi medio año sin pelear, pero
I felt a little weird because it's been a half year since I last fought.
Pero ya estando aquí arriba del ring me sentí confiado con la preparación. Regresé aquí a Tijuana a hacer una preparación muy buena, muy fuerte.
I felt real confident because my training camp was very serious and I took it very seriously as well.
Me sentí fuerte, el sol fue lo que me mató poquito, pero
The sun killed me a little bit. Let me ask you something. Déjame te pregunto algo. ¿Estuviste encontrando mucho ese pequeño ganchito en cuanto García estaba tratando de encontrarte de frente? Tú lo encontrabas con ese ganchito de izquierda, te estuvo trabajando. ¿Cómo lo veías venir? ¿Debiste haberlo tirado un poquitito más? How do you felt as you threw that counter punch, like sort of check hook each time García went on head on against you?
sí, lo miraba en cuanto venía y decía, pues aquí es. Lo soltaba, pero en la esquina pues me daba unas indicaciones. Trataba de
I was throwing it, but my corner was telling me to keep throwing it as well.
Trataba de hacerlo, pero pues me cansé poquito, no mucho, ¿no? Pero cuando ya lo tenía para conectarlo algo, me hacía que...
I got a little tired, damn son. So, muchísimas gracias, Mario El Güero Ramírez, ladies and gentlemen.